our life revolves around four aspects: seeking, yearning, achieving, and holding of something, someone, or some situation. For all this, we need intense assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Since our birth till our last breath, this process remains on. And we want to be successful in all the aspects, maybe in material prosperity or in spiritual illumination. Though we all desire to be successful, it is noticed that truly successful people are only a few. Many more attain a moderate degree of success, and many more just fail. So we need to think diligently and to readjust our potential and limitations. For this, we need concentration, because a concentrated mind can see the present clearly. It has the power of foresight with regard to the future, and it can retain the experiences of the past. So we need to have a clear, pure, concentrated mind. A mind is pure when it is one-pointed, single-pointed. Singleness means unmixing, something which is unmixed. An impure mind is which is scattered and lacking in discrimination. Most of our sorrows, sicknesses, stress, strain, sufferings are due to an impure mind. Meditation is the easiest and simplest way to attain a pure mind. Meditation is to remove the dichotomy between the mind and the heart, between the thinking and the feeling, between the intellect and emotion. Meditation is to keep the track of all the forces operating within us. And meditation is to take the level of mind to a peaceful situation, to serenity, and to vigor. Meditation is the key to knowledge, the source of all power. So we should learn a meditation technique. We will discuss about the Vedic meditation technique, in which various topics has been taken from the Vedas and Upanishads, but it is mainly based upon Patanjali Yoga Darshan, written by Maharishi Patanjali. The first step is preparation of body and mind. We need to still to do the meditation. As we cannot write properly while traveling in a bus or a car, similarly, if our body is moving, we won't be able to concentrate inside. So we sit comfortably in a vertical position. We close our eyes gently and we relax the whole body. We come first in objectives in life because we love ourselves the most. This time we are giving to ourselves. So we keep a smile on our face and we feel peace in our mind. Then we chant Om and Gayatri mantra. In this mantra, we seek the wisdom from the Almighty, and it helps us in purifying our mind. Then comes deep breathing. We have seen that by nature our mind wanders here and there. because we keep it occupying all the time, either with phone or with television, with friends, relatives. We keep on thinking almost 18 hours a day. So we need to give rest to our mind. We have seen when we are in anger or aggression, our respiratory rate increases. And when we are at peace, our respirate is normal. So we pick up this point. With the help of our breath, we try to settle our emotions and our thoughts. So for some time, we take long, deep, rhythmic breaths. We experience inhalation and exhalation. Here we bring our attention at the nostrils. Then we come to Bahya Pranayam, external holding of breath. Pranayam is not mere a breath control. It is the flow and regulation is controlled in the body. Pranayam is the flow and regulation of vital pranic energy in the body-mind complex. So controlling of pranic currents means controlling of the mind. Then comes pratyahar, withdrawal of senses from the outside sensory objects. We have 5 senses: eyes, nose, tongue, skin, and ears. Mind takes information from these senses. The object of experiences are form, smell, taste, touch, and sound. The mind loses its peace, tranquility, and the inner light of knowledge when it is experiencing the outside world. So here we withdraw our senses and we move within. Just like a tortoise, it withdraws its limbs into the shell to protect itself from the potential danger. Or we can see like this: a man bolts within and sits indoor undisturbed. That is pratyahar. And here we take the help of formless, all-pervading God, just as we take the help of an elderly person when we want to cross a highly traffic road. Then comes dharana. Dharana is the concentration. Here the mind is collected and confined to any specific place in our body, like between the eyebrows, at the tip of the nostril, at the throat, or at the center of the chest or navel. You can choose any place as per your convenience or your earlier practice. Here we feel the sensations of that place and we hold our attention at that place. Then comes dhyan, meditation. At the point of your concentration, at the place of your concentration, the continuous presence of an idea, any aspect or thought is meditation. So in meditation, there is continuity of a thought or an idea. We have many options in front of us to do the meditation. Amongst all, to meditate on God is the best option because God is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. He is so kind, He is all protecting, and He loves us unconditionally. So when we meditate on God, we get His bliss, grace, and we go more deep in the meditation. So here we will do the meditation on the God and we'll pick up His attributes. So we will chant Om loudly and we'll pick up the aspect omnipresent. God is present everywhere. He's present in each and every atom of this universe. He's all pervading. And we feel that He is present inside and outside our body. Like an immersed cotton ball in the water, and we realize water is inside and outside the cotton ball. Same way, God is within and outside us. We just feel it. Then secondly, we chant Om in a moderate tone. And we pick up the aspect all protecting. God has been protecting us. He takes care of us. He always comes to rescue us. We acknowledge His protection while recalling our difficult periods of time when we felt His invisible hand around us to take us out from that difficult situation. And we acknowledge His protection by providing this bountiful nature, by giving this body, family, resources, sun, moon, regulation of day and night, management of nature. He is protecting us. And lastly, we pick up His attribute of being pure and pious. He is so pure and pious. He is free from all vices. We also want to be free from vices like hatred, anger, jealous, hypocrisy, untruthfulness, greed, lust. So we pray to Him that all the sins, infatuations should be taken away from our lives. We recall some of our vices and experience those being dissolved into nothingness. We feel we are pure and pious. We pray for peace, progress, and prosperity in our life. We feel we are immersed in the bliss of God. And He loves us unconditionally. We surrender to Him completely and unconditionally because He is an infinite treasure of mercy. With His grace, we want to realize righteous living, righteous wealth, righteous enjoyment, and emancipation from the world. We offer our salutations unto Him because He is an embodiment of bliss and grace. He is benevolent and auspicious one. He is more benevolent than anyone else in this immense creation. We sit peacefully and feel His grace in our life. We give thanks to Him for His blessings, for this life, for this moment. Then slowly, whenever we feel comfortable, we just pray for peace, cosmic peace, spiritual peace, and material peace. And slowly, we move our fingers, our hands, we stretch our legs, change our posture. And whenever we feel complete, we slowly and steadily open the eyes. So this is the technique of meditation. You can do it whenever you get time. And you carry these three aspects in your day-to-day life. That God is omnipresent. He's present with you all the time, everywhere, in every situation. He's watching you. He's looking at you. And He's all protective. He's protecting you. And He's free from all the vices. If a policeman looks at us, then we won't jump the red light. we won't commit a mistake. Similarly, when we feel this, when we have this sense in ourselves that God is watching us, we will not commit the mistakes and sins again and again. We'll become pure and pious, and our life will become pure. We'll achieve peace, progress, and prosperity in our life. That is our main aim.